Are you over 50 and thinking about accepting HR's invitation to do an exit interview? Well, here's my advice. Don't. At least not until you watch this video. Hi, I'm Lou Reyes, and this is Over 50 TV, where we help you earn more so you can retire smarter. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through 5 reasons why exit interviews are not harmless, especially if you are over 50. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, exit interviews, well, they are harmless. Or maybe you're thinking, I'll do it because it'll help the next person who comes along. Well, I promise you, this video, it's going to open your eyes about exit interviews. And that, my friends, that's up next, right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back. My name is Lou Reyes, and this is Over 50 TV, where we help you earn more so you can retire smarter. Now, before I dive into today's video, I want to thank CareerFitter for sponsoring it. CareerFitter makes a career aptitude test that'll help you find a job that better fits your skills, your personality, and your interests. There's a link to the free version of the CareerFitter career aptitude test in the description box of this video. And now, as someone who has hired hundreds of people and interviewed at least 10 times that many folks at my companies, I know there are 5 reasons why exit interviews are not harmless, especially if you're over 50. You could be risking a bad reference. And to me, this is one of the biggest risks. Let's say you say something in that exit interview that rubs the HR person the wrong way. Well, it could quietly cost you future job opportunities. And while legally, they may not be allowed to give a bad reference, well, that doesn't stop some HRs folks from offering up a lukewarm response or maybe a hint of hesitation that'll raise a red flag with a prospective new employer. And in tight knit industries where managers and recruiters know each other, well, that danger multiplies. The last thing you need is a vindictive HR manager or a hiring manager deciding to set the record straight and spreading false rumors about you. You know, that kind of whisper campaign, well, it can travel faster than your resume. And for older workers who already face longer job searches due to age bias, well, participating in an exit interview is simply not worth the risk. Most exit interviews don't change anything. And let's be real. I mean, real. You've been around long enough. You know that what's said in an exit interview usually doesn't go anywhere other than maybe stay in that particular file. It doesn't do much else. You know, companies that they collect this info to check a box, and it's not really done to fix the problems. It's certainly not to fix the problems that you bring up unless they get the same complaint from dozens, maybe even hundreds of other folks who are leaving the company. But here's something else to think about. If they truly cared about your perspective, about your issues, about your problems, wouldn't they have asked for your feedback while you were still working there? Before you gave your notice? You know, waiting until you're out the door to pretend they're listening feels like too little too late. So why hand over free feedback to a company that didn't value your voice when it actually mattered? HR is not your friend. Now, this one's tough, but it's necessary to say HR works for the company, they don't work for you. Now, if you've ever been laid off or passed over or seen your job slowly disappear, well, you already know the score. HR may seem sympathetic during your exit. You know, we hate to see you go. We're going to miss you. You were a real positive. You had a positive impact at this company. Yeah, they may seem sympathetic during your exit, but their job is to protect the company, and they won't hesitate to document what you say. Older workers who speak candidly in exit interviews may later regret it if those words are used to discredit them. Age bias is real, and so is retaliation. You know, studies show Studies show it takes people over 50 much longer to land a new job after they leave an old one. And according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, while workers over 55 spend more time unemployed than a younger worker. And it's often several weeks, sometimes it's several months longer. So why stack the deck against yourself? If you say something negative during the interview, even if it's true, and often it's true, but they don't want to hear it, they really don't want to hear it. Well, if you say something that's negative, well, you could be labeled difficult or just labeled negative. This is a reputation that could follow you, and sadly, older workers, well, we're not always given the benefit of the doubt. Your silence can be a strategic move. Sometimes saying nothing is the smartest play. By politely declining the exit interview or keeping your comments neutral, well, you're going to maintain control of your professional reputation and you give yourself a clean break. You're not obligated to give feedback, especially when that feedback could come back to haunt you. Exit interviews, they can be emotionally draining, especially if you're leaving under less than ideal circumstances. And just think, the night before that exit interview, you're thinking about it, you're all nervous, you're stressed maybe a little bit, and then you go into that exit interview. So I think it's important to ask yourself, why put myself through this? Why? You don't owe the company a final therapy session on your way out the door. And as Charles de Gaulle once said, silence is the ultimate weapon of power. And when you're walking away from a job, that kind of power, the power to move on quietly, professionally, and on your own terms, is worth holding on to. In closing, I want to say this. You've worked hard to build your career, and after 50, well, protecting your reputation is more important than ever. So please don't let a 15-minute meeting with HR undo everything that you've built. Now, let us know. Have you ever done an exit interview and regretted it? Or maybe you've skipped one and felt relieved? Well, tell me in the comment box. Tell me in the comments section. I'd love to hear your story. And I've got a feeling there's a lot of viewers out there would also love to know what other folks have done in the same situation. Now, before we go, I gotta thank Career Fitter for sponsoring this video. I can't do these videos without sponsors, so I appreciate it if you understand that Career Fitter makes a career test that will help you find a job that best fits your skills, your personality, and your interests. Now, there's a link to their free version in the description box of this video. And if you found this video helpful, well, go ahead and give it a like, and maybe you're going to want to hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking for other ways to earn more so you can retire smarter, well, then you're going to want to check out this video right here up in the corner. Now, if you haven't signed up for my free breaking news email, you're going to want to do it right away, because it's the fastest way for you to stay updated on the news that matters most to you. You can just click on the link in the description box to sign up. Well, that's all I got for you today. And as I always say, have a great day, everybody.